Welcome to Chris Veve Journey, where I take you on the trip to Veve, always as an adventurer, never as a financial advisor, so please invest with caution. And today we will look over some news about which drops we can see on Veve coming the next days, which will also be the end of season 1. And yeah, I switched up the layout again because this time there is a few drops I want to talk about, and it's much easier to have a full screen of the Medium articles here. So that's why you see me sitting around. Unless I can find enough time to edit my videos and replace a background, maybe, I don't know. For that time we have to go with this, and the stand-up thing will be a thing as long as there's not too much to talk about. So let's delve right into it. So Marvel Digital Comics, Thor 337. First appearance of Beta Ray Bill. So this will be, as we already talked about, a super limited edition. And I was right, like most people thought. It would be a 10,000 edition comic book this time. Again, we have exclusive covers to Veve, the rare, the black and white variant, and the ultra rare, the colored variant. Those were done by Pascal Ferry as the pencil and inker. I mean, from the look of it, from the rare, pretty sure he's a digital artist, and that has been done digital. So it makes sense. Yeah, that's a little gem for you. If there's a digital artist, he will most likely be the penciler and the inker, because in traditional comic book creating, you have a penciler, the guy who does all the pencil work, and then there comes an inker in. That's the one who goes with ink on top of the pencils, or maybe blue lines. That's when it's sent over the internet, and you can have it printed out in blue lines, and the inker goes over it, and if you scan it again, you can eliminate the blue lines. That's very technical. So in theory, in the usual way comics were created, you have a penciler and an inker, but digital creating of comics takes the inker out of it. It's debatable if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I myself, when I create comics, I like to do the inking step myself. I don't that's the thing. I don't think I'm as good as a professional inker. I mean, these guys are sometimes amazing in what they do, and it's an art form in itself. But working digital, it's a little bit more fun because you see your creation come to life. It's so different than having just pencils. But that is also up for discussion and purely depending on taste. But as we can see here, because you have all these gray values, and it looks like there has been done a layer where there were some clouds or whatever, and these have been stretched, and then there's an some kind of black to white thing going on from top to bottom. It looks a lot like it has been created digital, which is fine. I guess for a digital comic to have a digital creator do it, it makes a lot of sense instead of having a, let's say, traditional artist do it. In my opinion, both is great. I really like it. And yeah, depending on the artist, I really like Jorge Jimenez. He's from Spain. He's an awesome artist, currently working on the Batman book, but he has been doing the Superman book before, the Justice League, and the Super Sons book. He's totally awesome artist, and he works also mainly digital. And I've seen his traditional created pieces. I think they're great. I love them. I would love to own one, but he's actually one of the artists where I would enjoy to have a digital piece way more, because he's so good in working digital that there's a real big difference between his digital and his traditional art. So that was a little a little step into the creating of comic covers. So yeah, again we have Mr. Sotomayor on the covers, on the colors, right? Chris Sotomayor, yeah, colors by Chris Sotomayor, I was right. So the ultra rare is pretty great again. I love his colors, and yeah, I mean, this drop will be different. We know it. So there's an edition size of 10K. The classic cover with 6,000, the uncommon with 2250, the rare with just 1k, the ultra rare just 500 pieces, and the secret rare just 250 pieces. Aside from the fact that these will be super valuable just because they're so rare, it will be so hard to get one. I'll be honest, I don't think I will get one. I think I will participate in the drop, and the family will participate in the drop, and maybe friends participating in the drop, and I think there's a high possibility that none of us will even get a common. If you get a common here, you're super lucky already. Yeah, and and also I think this is the first of the Veve exclusive variants I won't be able to get even in the marketplace. I expect the rare to be really expensive. For now, what I see in the marketplace, especially with the comics, is that it's not so much about what comic book you're actually seeing, but the numbers, the mint numbers are really more important. How big is the edition size? I mean, Avengers 8 has a lot going for it, but I think just as a collector, I think there are some books that should be higher in price depending on how much there is demand for the Avengers 8. But yeah, that's just my comic collector opinion. And of course, we don't have just comic collectors, but there's a lot of NFT collectors and even investors, flippers. So this has a whole another dynamic than we see just on the comic market. I think this will change with more and more comic lovers coming in. But yeah, for now, it is what it is. So I think for now I won't be able to buy the rare or the ultra rare. I mean, who knows? You can always be lucky. Maybe this is my day and I get one of those two. I would prefer the ultra rare again because I love the colors. If I get the rare, but I would be super crazy happy about getting the rare already because it's so hard to get rare. I mean, how many are there? I just said it. The rare is just 1,000 pieces. That is crazy. Crazy. I think we have not as many people on the Veve app as we all thought. Thinking about it, I don't think that the 700,000 number is saying much, as we've seen how many bots out there, how many fake accounts there are, and how many people just have a few accounts. I mean, I'll be honest, I have a few accounts because of my family. So we as a family collect, but we have 3 accounts in this family. This could very well be just one account. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of people that do it. I mean, my wife wouldn't have discovered this on her own. I discovered it and I told her about it. So that's why she got an account. That is the funny thing about it. So there's 3 on a guy like me who despises using bots and stuff. So I don't know. I think maybe we have just 100 or even 200,000 actual users on Veve that are actually participating in these drops, which is still, I mean, if you have 200,000 people participating in the drops, that's 20 times the amount of editions available on this book. That means there's a 20 to 1 chance, I mean 1 to 20 chance that you would even get the common one. That's not an easy one. I mean, try to roll a die and see how much you can manage to get a 1. In general, you would have to roll 6 times to be sure, but it doesn't need to happen. You can also roll 10 times and it doesn't work. So this is a tough one. Yeah, about Beta Ray Bill himself, I made some notes about him. I always forget the name of his race. Carbonite. So he's a Carbonite. That's the thing. He's the champion of his race. He participated in some kind of championship to see who's the most worthy one, the strongest one, and then he was also altered. And at some point he was protecting his kind because they were chased, and at some point he did fight Thor. He won, and he was even able to pick up Thor's hammer, so he is worthy. And then he had to fight against Thor again. He won that fight also, but yeah, he actually had an advantage in that fight, so that wasn't a really fair fight. But he did win. I mean, Thor was pretty strong, and because of that, he got his own hammer, Stormbreaker. And last time I've seen him was in the current Thor run. He was fighting against Thor again, and yeah, Thor had the power. He was the Herald of Galactus, was infused with the power cosmic, and yeah, he was way too strong for Beta Ray Bill at this point. But I mean, the guy is still super cool and super strong, so this is pretty nice. I mean, this is also, they really give us the best of the best at this point. There's not one comic that is disappointing in any way, I guess. Even the Thanos one, I mean, the Thanos one is not the first appearance of Thanos in the comics, but it's actually a great comic run of Thanos. So I just have the comment from that run, from that drop. But I'm super happy. I don't think there's a lot of worth in that book in the future. I could be wrong. Like I said, no financial advice here. But just having it is just cool. Like they have really a lot of cool books. I really enjoy that. And yeah, so much for that. So let's go. I'm just talking and talking again. So the next drop will be also tomorrow. No, won't be tomorrow. Or yes, 14th. Yes, it's tomorrow. My bad. I actually just looked at this and was a little confused for a second. So yeah, it's tomorrow. It's 12 p.m. So it's after the 4 hours after the comic drop. It's an ultra rare. The price is 89.99 gems. Edition size of 1950. So you have twice as much a chance to get this one before you get the rare from Beta Ray Bill. So that's a funny one. It's first appearance, and the brand is Ultraman Anime. So I can't tell you anything about this character. I'm out of the loop if it's about Ultraman. I also didn't buy any of the Ultraman stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff on Veve, but I decided for myself not to go too much for anything I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that is cool, like the Labbits. The Labbits are something I would like to get, because there is this idea of having Labbits breed, and maybe I will get some, but I don't have Labbits, I don't have a Dragon Girl or whatever. I totally enjoy that stuff, but I thought I'd better go for stuff I know something about, and that is everything related comics and pop culture in general. So no idea about Ultraman. I can't tell you anything about it. I think he's an enemy from what I've seen here. He's a villain, I guess. Yeah, if you know more than me, then just tell me in the comments. It's interesting. I also have to say, and this is just my opinion, no offense, but the character, yeah, I don't like the design. I don't know what he looks like in the original show, or even manga, anime, whatever. I'm really not into Ultraman. I remember I've seen one Ultraman movie, but that is ages ago, so can barely remember. And the whole design, it's not something I enjoy, so nothing for me. I will participate in this drop. Honestly, I will participate because I think there is a lot of gain in price, because from what I've seen in the various groups, there's a lot of people that want to complete this set. They really want this thing, so I suppose they would be willing to spend quite a bunch of money for it. And I don't know, not to make it like a money grab, but there's so much stuff I still want to buy from Veve. To me, it would be just exchanging stuff. I would take this, sell it, and just buy something else. I would also straight up, what's the word? You know, if someone has something I want, I would trade is the word. So I would just trade it away also, but only if someone sends first. I'm not, that's the thing. I'm too new that someone would trade with me, but I would never send something first. That feels stupid to me. Nothing that is worth that much like this one will be. I mean, I see it break 2K on the first day already, in my opinion. I could be wrong, maybe just 1.5, but I think 2K is, people have been waiting forever to get this guy. And if I understand this correctly, available globally outside of Japan and mainland China. So that means it's available everywhere except for Japan and mainland China, right? And these are like the most, the ones that will look out for this the most, I guess. So yeah, I think there's a lot of demand for this piece. So let's get to the next news. That is DesignerCon and Veve Collectibles. That's an interesting topic. I was looking over it. I mean, I'm in Germany. For me, this is... I'm definitely not going to go to Anaheim and be present, and I've never been there. It seems to be, from what I've been reading, it's the greatest convention surrounding toys, but from what I'm reading here, it seems like it's more the pop art and yeah, collectible toys, which is interesting. I mean, in this article they mentioned bear bricks. I used to own a few bear bricks, just really small ones. I thought bear bricks were really cool, but they were actually destroyed in a fire in our apartment. So yeah, so much for my bear bricks, but they weren't expensive or anything. So not a big harm here. Everything's fine. And as you can see, I totally switched up my collecting habits. No longer going for these things. I wouldn't be surprised from what I'm reading here. Also, all these names, Tristan, Eaton, Tara McPherson, Camille Rose Garcia, they don't mention cause, but I kind of feel like this con would be something where cause is very present. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see actually a cause thing happening. I don't know. I also saw that cause is doing something with the Fortnite game, the video game Fortnite, so I mean, stranger things are happening. It also says there will be a online presence for the con, so you can actually watch it and maybe pick up something that could give you any hints. I won't, because of the time difference here in Germany. That would mean I would need to watch it during the nights, and I really need my sleep. So I won't be there. Yeah, but it seems really interesting. So they already announced that they will do some blind box drops during that time. That has something to do with the con and the artist. I mean, sounds to me like they will have the Tristan Eaton, Tara McPherson, Camille Rose Garcia stuff and a little bit more. I mean, they actually say it. And in those blind boxes, there will also be the DesignerCon's mascot, Vincent, in there in some of these blind boxes. This I find very interesting. If we will have different blind boxes and you would have the chance in every one of those blind boxes to have the same Vincent character, that would be interesting. Because if you want to Vincent, you could probably participate in all the blind box drops. Maybe it's different Vincents, or it's just one Vincent and you can get him in different drops. Then we would also need to know what is the edition size of this Vincent. So that's interesting. That's really, really interesting. Here's also a quote from David Yu, where you can see he's really interested in all the stuff himself. That is always great to see. He's not just the CEO is trying to make money. He's also really a part of the community. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm eager to see what they are doing with this time and how these pop culture toys will do on Veve. From what we've seen so far, they all seem to do great, and I think that would mean there would also be con editions, CEs. So yeah, I think there's just a lot of drops coming again. So, which means we could expect that prices will stay down a little longer, because people will still need money for all these drops, so they will try to sell a little bit cheaper, which is great, which means for me I can try to gain some more money and maybe buy some of the stuff we see in the marketplace as long as it's down in price. I just think it's a great opportunity to buy some stuff. Yeah, that's what I think about it. Also, this will be the first time Veve is actually at a convention in person. Like they have a booth there. That is also interesting. I wonder if there is any special if you participate there. If you go to Designers Con, see Veve, because they already showed with the 007 theater ticket that there is a real life advantage to their NFTs. So maybe there's something you can do with it being there in person. I have no idea. I mean, part of me says hopefully not, because it's something I can't participate in. I'm sorry guys if you go, but that's just being true to myself. That's a thought I have. But on the other hand, I would also think it would be a cool thing, but something that would go ape in price again. So that will be interesting to see what they bring as an NFT from this world. I do like all this vinyl collectible stuff, like Bear Bricks and the Core stuff. I'm not the biggest Cores fan, because I always think I'm more a fan of original artists, people who do create stuff and not just, take stuff that is already there and makes it their own. I understand it's art, I understand what he's doing, and it's cool, but it's just weird to me that these artists get way more money, way more attention than the actual artist creating stuff. But yeah, that's the comic artist in me, because I obviously would be one of those that would be taken advantage of from a artist like Horse. So that's just my 2 cents about that. And I guess that's all so far. The drop today, the 007 posters, I didn't participate. Like I said yesterday, my amount of gems is really low, and I want to have some gems to participate in the comic drop tomorrow. That's the most interesting one to me. So I didn't go for the posters. To be perfectly honest, I was sleeping when the posters were released. Yes, that means I was sleeping at the middle of the day, but it was a hard week, so that was necessary. And then tomorrow, that means I will go for the comic books. I again wish all you guys luck, and seeing how many guys I saw actually made it and got a secret rare, it seems like if I wish you guys luck, it works. In some way, I feel like I'm participating in a positive energy thing. So yeah, still wishing you guys luck of course. Luck, what was that for word? So wishing you guys luck for the comic drop, also for the Edo drop. I guess I will try to attend the Edo drop also, just because I think it's something that could make me buy a super rare from another comic book, maybe, who knows. But yeah, that's it. So good luck everyone. I'll be out. Hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow again. And yeah, that's it. Bye.